the ball, and then it it makes a bend in space and time or whatnot.
Okay. So
Something to do with that.
okay, but sure, but I mean, what about it? Well, like, how does that relate to anything? That's like it sounds like a nice story, a nice plot for a movie. Sounds like science fiction. Are you saying that in reality things bend because of mass? Mass bends things? What are you saying? And why would you say it? And what is what is the implication of saying it? Like even if it's true, who cares? Why should I care?
Um, I think why we should what it means is it can help us understand the structure, of predictability and how we can try and use it to make new technology and stuff and innovate some kind of understanding on what we're dealing with here.
Hmm. Okay, now can you be more specific? Let's assume
I
it's
think if you,
true. Hmm. Go ahead. I'm
I
listening.
think it means like,
Hmm.
yeah, I think it means that how can you explain how do things work in reality?
Yeah, but be more specific. I mean, that's what you just said. That's basically science. Science tries to explain how things work in reality or something like that. I mean, that is science.
So the branch of science, yeah, the branch of science you're on about right now, it's mostly a theory, right? Or is it real?
I mean, science is just a bunch of theories. That is what science.
Not all of it. Some of it is not theory. Like experiments can lead to finding stuff out.
Experiments can lead to finding stuff out. Okay. I mean, usually science is a method by which you form a hypothesis or a theory to explain a phenomenon. First you notice a phenomenon. Then you try to explain it with a theory or hypothesis. Based on that, you make predictions. Then you test and verify the prediction. And then you say, okay, I validated my hypothesis slash theory. That I would say is basically science. So, how does that relate to general relativity, would you say?
I think because that was how it was found.
What do you mean? How was what found?
General relativity was found over time. First, we had to have people before it was to find to do things which led to the discovery.
What I'm not following. But I'm still not understanding. What do you think is general relativity? Like, is it a theory? How does it help us? What?
I think
Hmm.
I think it's not a theory, and I think it can help us to understand how to manipulate new technologies.
Okay, but I'm not sure. I mean, that's like science in general is used to manipulate new and create new technologies. Like the implementation of science, I would say, is more like engineering. Science, I would say, is just the process of noticing stuff, coming up with explanations, based on the explanation, coming up with a prediction, and then coming up with a test to test the prediction and therefore validate the explanation, which is the theory. So, how does that, would you say, how does that relate to general relativity? What is general relativity? What is it?
General relativity is something Albert Einstein made. He is like MC something, EC something equals something. I think it's equal mass times two something, and then that means that gravity always gets pulled in, and whatever energy you put in is what comes out or something.
Conservation of
So
energy. I think
yeah,
conservation of energy. I don't know if conservation of energy has anything to do. I mean, that was probably something that they came up with before Einstein. They already came up with conservation of energy, I think. So I think if you ask me what general relativity is, I would say it's basically an explanation of how gravity works. General
yeah,
relativity. Oh, you agree?
yeah.
So how does gravity work? How do you think gravity works?
I think that gravity works by using the gravitational field to detect time ripples caused by the mass. But I don't think that objects and energy is what affects is what what is needed to use gravity. I think gravity exists in the fields, but there's
I
nothing
don't care
physical.
what you think. I don't care.
Yeah, go
But
on. Mhm.
yes, but without the physical object, then nothing can bend space and time. But hypothetically speaking, I don't think that objects really have any mass in that sense. But I do think that they still have mass, but I don't think they're really connected to the gravitational field and actual gravity.
You think objects don't have gravity? Objects don't have a, there is no gravitational field? What?
Yeah, I don't think objects, if there was no gravitational field,
Hmm.
then there would be no pulling force. I mean, there would be no reason for objects to come together to use their mass to come together, but they would still have mass and energy, but there would be no gravitational field to make them bend space and time.
What's the purpose when you say bend space and time? Why do you say that? How does that relate to gravity?
Because there's like a field in space which whenever you put stuff on it, it always gets bent. Like when you sit down, there's always going to be like curvature where you're sitting down.
Okay.
So wherever you put stuff, there's always going to be something which is going to get bended around.
Okay. Yeah, but like the sun. So you're saying the sun bends or curves space, and that's why the Earth wants to fall into the sun?
Yeah,
Right, but when you sit on the bed, so the earth pulls you down, and then whatever, let's say you put a ball and the ball wants to fall into your lap, that's because we have Earth's gravity that's causing the pull. But in three-dimensional space, with the sun at the center and the Earth next to it, why would the Earth fall?
Yeah, but the gravitational field is everywhere though. It's not only on. It's not only like It's not simple as. It's not like simplified.
Wait, you said there's a bending. You're using the analogy of bending, like sitting on a bed and the bed bends, curves.
But it bends everywhere.
Okay, but I don't understand this analogy.
Yo, Mr. Steve.
Wait, he left? Oh,
No, I said Mr. Slave. I can't pronounce things sometimes. Sorry.
oh, hi Liliana, how are you?
I read your title. I read your title as something streams when you read about when you follow Epstein. I thought that was what it's saying.
That would
'Cause
have
it's
been
so similar to the spelling.
that would have been really funny.
No, I'm serious. Like I swear I was tripping when I saw that. I
Oh
was
my
like,
god.
is this what I'm looking at? Or am I like
That's funny. No, we're
I
actually
thought my boy
yeah,
Mr. Slave supported it.
yeah, we're discussing somebody else different than Epstein. It's actually Einstein. Yeah. Anyway,
Oh, Einstein. Einstein is one of the best guys ever.
why do you say that?
I say it because he's basically one of the most mathematical wait mathematical geniuses that were a child prodigy with physics, science, and also he was really great at how he found solutions to a lot of mathematical equations. I think like a lot of us look up to him because he was basically the only like one of the best like mathematicians that existed in humanity.
Wait, how do you know that? How can you judge that?
How do I know that? Cause like, well, because like, doesn't school teach that? I mean, like my school teaches that all the time. Like, they tell us, hey, well, like if you want to be the best of the best, then you gotta follow what Einstein did. Like, if you're a good mathematician, you just like don't like um willy nilly approach it. I guess.
But but how do you know that what they say is true? That Einstein was great. I mean,
Well, because
mhm.
what you think he's wrong?
I mean, I have my opinion of Einstein. I think Einstein was absolutely. I mean, there's no words to describe what I think of Einstein, but I study Einstein. That's all I do. So he is
Well,
amazing.
he's the one who created the he developed theories of relativity, and he won many Nobel prizes for physics in 1921, and he was able to explain the photoelectric effects that he also worked on the special theory of relativity as well as relativity in general. And he invented the Guardo's number, the quantum theory of light, the general theory of relativity, a special theory of relativity. He made a lot of amazing inventions that actually like are still looked up upon.
Hmm.
And then he also made the photoelectric effect and wave particle duality, duality, Brownian movement, the relationship between mass and energy, Bose-Einstein consolidate, and many more. So basically, Eduardo's number was a concept in chemistry that defines the number of units in 1 mole of a substance is equal to 6.22148
Wait, 1 second.
57
Wait,
times 10
hold
to the
on.
23rd power.
Wait, hold on.
What?
Are you reading an entry in Wikipedia or something?
No, this is not Wikipedia. This is actually like like his biography and his accomplishments in life,
But what do you think about?
like basically an actual like document of his life.
But what do
What
you?
what do I think
Yeah.
of what
And,
Einstein?
well, yeah. I mean, we're
Like
discussing.
what do you mean?
Hmm. Like this. I'm.
Oh, I got confused.
I'm. The name of this room is "Something Strange Happens When You Follow Einstein." So it's basically a YouTube video that I'm reviewing. So I did the first part yesterday.
Oh, I thought you were like actually being for real. Like you just wanted an opinion.
I mean, I do
I mean,
always
yeah.
want an opinion. I'm curious, and everything you're saying is right now we're streaming live on YouTube. So your
You
words,
are.
yeah. So everybody,
Um, I'm
everyone.
sorry.
No, don't be sorry. No, you're saying very.
Uh, I sound very stupid.
No, you're not. No, you sound very.
Okay.
You answered everything very nicely. I'm impressed with everything you said. Here is this
I
is
mean,
mhm. This is the YouTube
I
video.
like.
Go ahead.
Oh, I mean, like the biggest one about the Brownian movement he was like, um, he did the um molecular theory of liquids, which is like the motion of particles through Brownian movement, which is like the idea of how zigzag movement in particles within suspension, and how he like tried to prove the existence of those molecules and atoms in the particles in general. So like that's how he proved that particles were able to be existent within the particle mass. So like
Yeah,
there's a lot about Einstein. Like
yeah,
this
but
guy's like a
right.
genius.
Okay, but I mean, yeah, I mean, these are nice discoveries, but the most important contribution that I care for that he made, that's the one I am spending much of my time these days reviewing is special and general relativity. That's what I.
Okay.
That's so. Like everything else, I think is dwarfed by special and general relativity. I think
Oh.
most of what you would hear about Einstein, that people talk about Einstein, is mostly, I think, general relativity and a little bit of special relativity, but almost none of the other contributions get mentioned. I think the rest of the stuff is dwarfed compared to relativity. Relativity is, I think, the biggest revelation slash revolution in science. It's
Of
absolutely.
course.
But what do you know about relativity?
Oh. Um. Probably not that much since they didn't absolutely not teach that in school. I think what they truly taught was just, physics, the basics of physics, because it's called the class for me. We never even actually truly learned what relativity was at all. Like, so this is kind of a new concept for me to learn today.
Mm,
I love learning new things, though. That's what broadens my knowledge on things. It's the beauty of life, learning about new things.
mm-hmm. Do you want me to try and
I love your channel.
you've watched my channel? You've watched my videos?
Yeah, I'm subscribed. I have like my notifications on.
Really?
Yeah, you want me to take a screenshot?
No, I believe you. Yeah, I believe you.
I also yeah.
Really? The
Um
one that we're on right now?
so do you make multiple like live streams a day? Yes, I'm serious.
Hmm. Uh,
Yeah, I show support to everyone, so it's not like a super surprising thing like when people hear this. Like, cause for me, I like e- on YouTube Shorts, I literally just scroll and like everything. Like I'm just that weird, I guess.
no, I also like everything that I watch usually. Like it has to be really either I like it
Good.
or I unsubscribe if it's that bad.
Mm.
Like if it's prank, I hate pranks. Like if it's a prank, then I might unsubscribe. I don't like prank channels.
Rip.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm just really built different with that kind of stuff because I just like every I subscribe and like everything. So like even on TikTok, like if something I repost it, like it, follow them and favorite their content. Like I don't know why I do that, but I don't know. Maybe I like supporting people because I'm just that nice. I guess I don't know.
Hmm.
think sup- sup- I
Anyway,
think showing support to good people.
do you want me to
Hmm?
try and teach you special and general relativity from first principles without math?
You could use math. It's fine. It's not like I not. Uh, oh, for Stasium. Oh my goodness. You watch
Veritasium.
him? Okay.
I am reviewing
Yeah.
his video right now. Do you watch him?
Yeah, I used to watch him for like school projects. Like I had to find out what how much a mole is in math. Like basically it also quantifies as like how much something is like how much a molecule is, like how much is in a molecule and how much it um each atom is in a particle. So basically that was kind of like really confusing, but hey, I got a B.
In what? In physics? What is that?
Man.
What's
No, in chemistry,
oh?
there's two sections of it. So
Hmm.
one semester you do physics, which is devastating because I got a D, bro.
Hmm.
But I still passed because I was really struggling. But I like it wasn't like I wasn't doing my work. I had everything done on the spot,
Hmm.
and then chemistry was my strongest suit because we went into labs and I filled it all out. I paid attention. I guess I had good partners too to help me out with that. So it's not
Hmm.
like physics was like actually hard because like the mathematical part of like having to find out word problems over actual number problems is like then you have to figure out which variable goes to what variable. Like
Wait.
it's a whole different
So how are you?
thing.
How are you in math? Do you like math or do you hate math?
I'm fine with math. I don't really care about math really. It's just, I learn it and you know, I do my best. If I struggle, I ask, kind of just a basic human pattern of being a mathematician, I guess, a little bit, you know, trying to learn it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Mr. Slave, is it okay if I can go chill in another channel?
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
that okay?
yeah. I was. I'm.
Okay, I don't want to be rude or anything.
No, no, no. Come anytime. You can always come by.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right, see ya.
See you. Bye.
God bless.
Thanks. Bye. You
Hmm.
too. All right. So I was going to. Okay, let's just continue reviewing the movie from Veritasium that we did yesterday. We stopped. I have I have it marked where we stopped. Let me share this tab and let's continue.
Schwarzschild sent his solution to Einstein, concluding with, "The war treated me kindly enough, in spite of the heavy gunfire, to allow me to get away from it all and take this walk in the land of your ideas." Einstein replied, "I have read your paper with the utmost interest. I had not expected that one could formulate the exact solution to the problem in such a simple way."
This is really strange because Einstein, when he finished his developing his equations, as far as I know, the first thing he did was he solved the Sun Mercury problem in order to explain Mercury's precession or something. And when he got it right, he knew that GR is a good theory. So he already solved at least one problem. So I don't understand why he found Schwarzschild interesting.
What seemed at first quite simple soon became more complicated. Shortly after Schwarzschild's solution was published, people noticed two problem spots. Kindly enough, in spite of the heavy gunfire, to allow me to get away from it all
I
and
didn't do that.
take this your paper with such a simple, at first quite simple, soon became more complicated. Shortly after Schwarzschild's solution was published, people noticed two problem spots. At the center of the mass at r equals 0, this term is divided by 0, so it blows up to infinity, and therefore this equation breaks down and it can no longer describe what's physically happening. This is what
Okay, so this let's listen to this again. This is actually very important.
therefore this equation breaks down and it can be by 0. At the center of the mass at r equals 0,
Okay, at the center of the mass. Again, so notice that Veritasium said in the beginning of the video that we're talking that Schwarzschild created a point mass in order to do his analysis. And already back then, Veritasium said something about the center of the mass. And now again, he's mentioning the center of the mass, but this is a point mass. So in physics, when we solve problems, we usually simplify the model. So if we would solve something like the sun Earth, we would analyze the sun and the earth, then we would assume that for all intents and purposes, the sun and the earth are both point masses because we don't need to consider the fact that they are spheres. Or they are balls or whatever of some distribution of density. Like that's like for what we call this first order approximation. In a first order approximation, assuming the Earth is just a point mass, and the Earth, I don't know what I said, the Sun is just a point mass, and the Earth is a point mass, it's good enough for a first order approximation. And then you can, if you want to get a second order approximation or accuracy, you want to get the accuracy higher and higher, I guess you can start actually putting into your equations or developing whatever equations for the actual sun. But the math becomes much more difficult, and the difference in the result might be insignificant for practical purposes, right? If you want to just predict where the Earth is going to be in a couple of hours, days, years, I think the first order approximation is good enough. Hey, Mr. Theowem. Theowem. How are you?
All right.
All right. What's up? I'm in the middle of recording the video, but it's okay to take breaks and talk to people. So what's up?
I don't know. I think we should talking about.
Huh? What?
Uh,
What?
I think I was telling you about the gravity thing.
You want to talk about that?
I don't know if you want to talk about that
Of
as
course I
well.
want. Of course I want to talk about that. What do you want to say? You want me to explain, or do you want to ask questions?
No, I'm just gonna tell you what I know about it.
What? You gotta speak
So
slower. I don't understand your accent. Are you British?
I was just gonna tell.
You were just gonna chill out,
Yeah, yeah.
so you don't want to stay. You want to leave. What do
No,
you want to stay? You want to talk about? What do you want to talk about?
I was going to say that
Yeah.
why I think gravity fields exist on everywhere, like they don't only exist on space.
So you think gravity fields exist everywhere and not just space?
Yeah, because space is dimensional, meaning that even on Earth, when the gravity affects objects, you can't. That's why gravity is everywhere, meaning that it's not like a field, but it stretches everywhere, but not physically. But the law, not it doesn't physically stretch, but the law of the gravity works the same everywhere.
But what causes the law of gravity? What causes the law of gravity to be whatever it is? What causes gravity? That's the question that.
It's just
Hmm.
it's just been like that since humans have ever known about it.
Yeah, but the question is what causes it? I mean, the sun was there before there were humans, but the question is why.
We don't know because
What?
we can't physically determine it because we can't physically test it. So
So Einstein
yeah,
so Einstein he came up with a thought experiment. He thought about it and he was able to explain how gravity works just by just by thinking about it. Without any evidence, with no data, he was able to explain how gravity works. And he's able to predict Newtonian gravity just from that, just from thinking about it, with no data. Just from pure thought, he came up with relativity, with an explanation to how gravity works. I think that is general relativity.
yeah, but he never. That's because he was testing it with. He still has observation, so he can to observe how objects are affected by gravity, but he doesn't. He hasn't yet proven why the gravity itself exists.
Actually, he did. Just from the
How?
fact. So Einstein just noticed one thing. He noticed that we cannot tell. So if you're right now, let's say you're in an elevator, how do you know that you're in an elevator on Earth? Or alternatively, you might be in a rocket ship accelerating. How do you know that the reason when you're in an elevator, the reason you're glued to the floor, you feel the floor pressuring your feet? How do you know what's causing it? How do you know that, right? If the door closes and you don't know where you are, how do you know where you are? You could be on Earth experiencing the gravity of Earth, but alternatively, you could be in space just experiencing acceleration because of the rocket engines, right?
Yeah.
So that's so 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 based on this thought, just because of this thought, Einstein was able to derive Newtonian gravity just from that thought. Do you think you can do it?
Yeah.
Do you think you can
Do
derive
what?
what? Can you derive Newtonian gravity just from noticing that you cannot tell the difference being in an elevator on Earth or being in a rocket ship accelerating?
No.
What if I, well, what if I showed it to you? Do you want me to show you how you can derive one from the other?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So when you accelerate, let's say you are in a rocket ship. So you're accelerating. Now let's say, okay, before you accelerate, so you're in a rocket ship and you have a laser beam. You have a laser pointer and you point it from one side of the elevator to the other. And you notice where it makes a dot. And now the elevator, or yeah, you're in an elevator and now, but you're in a rocket ship. Now you start accelerating. So what do you expect should happen to that dot?
Um,
Should it stay at the same place or should it move somewhere?
just stay. It should move.
It should stay or move. What do you say?
Move. Move.
Move. So let's think about it. So when you're stationary or when you're moving at a constant rate, there's no difference. Let's get that out of the way. So if you're alone in the universe, let's say you're in a spacesuit alone in an empty universe. There's no planets, there's no one else. You're all alone in space, in a spacesuit in the empty universe. So, the, can you stay where you are? Does your location have any meaning? If it's an empty universe, can you talk about your location?
Oh shit.
What?
No, I can't.
Right. So when it's called an observer. So if an observer, like you in a spacesuit, so in like in a spacesuit in the middle of space, so an observer does cannot. So there is no such thing as location. Locations don't exist. You can only talk about location relative to something else. So let's say there's two people, and then you can say, okay, I am right next to my friend, or I'm far away from my friend, or I'm 1 meter away, I'm 1 mile away. So then you can talk about location makes sense only relative to. And that's already where the word relativity comes from. The theory of relativity says that things have no meaning unless you express them relative to. There's no meaning to a location except for relative to something else. There is no absolute location. Nothing has an absolute location. Things only have relative location. So that's already the first notion of relativity. The next step is if you're all alone in the universe, does it mean anything to be traveling, to be stationary, or to be moving at 10 miles an hour, or 1,000 miles an hour, or 1,000,000 miles an hour, or 1 billion, or 1 trillion miles an hour? Is there a difference? If you're all alone in the universe, can you tell if you're traveling at this speed or that speed, in the right direction, left direction, up direction, down direction, forward, backwards? Can you tell? Does it have any meaning to talk about motion if you're all alone in the universe? What do you think?
No, it doesn't have meaning.
Exact, exactly. And this again goes back to relativity. So relativity says things don't have absolute speeds or velocities. They can only have relative speeds and velocities. So location and velocity have no meaning, are undefined except for under relativity as relative to something else. So let's say you have a friend. So you can say, okay, I'm now moving relative to my friend, right? It's only you in a spacesuit. Your friend is in a spacesuit. You're both floating in space. The universe is empty. So now you can talk about, okay, I'm moving away from my friend I'm stationary relative to my friend. Or now I'm moving backwards. My friend is in front of me and I'm moving backwards relative to my friend. I'm moving to the right relative to my friend. I'm moving at 100 miles an hour relative to my friend. I'm moving at a million or a billion miles an hour relative to my friend. So that's again the notion of relativity. Okay. All right. So let's go back to the laser pointer in the elevator. Or in the spaceship. So you go back into your spaceship and you're all alone. Hello, Elvis. So you're all alone in your spaceship in an empty universe. And you use the laser pointer to point right in front of you, and there is a dot on the wall.
Dude, that's crazy, dude.
What's crazy? All right, so you get the dot on the opposite wall, and
Dude.
as we said, it makes it it's undefined if you're moving or if you're stationary. It doesn't mean anything. So having any velocity is undefined because the universe is empty. You're in your spaceship, and it doesn't mean anything to say that the spaceship is stationary or is moving. And by the way, that's called an inertial frame of reference. So when an observer is all alone in the universe, then we say that he is in an inertial frame. Inertial just means you're not accelerating. You're not you're not you're not feeling as pushed by something. So as long as no one is pushing you, so you're called an inertial. You're inertial. You're an inertial observer. Inertial just means no one is pushing you. So you're free floating or you're free falling. So when you're just in space in your spacesuit in an empty universe, you're feeling the same feeling as you do on Earth in a falling elevator. So when you're in an elevator on Earth and you're falling, you're free falling for those few seconds. You're floating inside the elevator, just like astronauts in the space station. They're they're free falling. It's just the same as when you jump off a cliff. You for a few seconds you're free falling. There's nothing is pushing you. So when you're standing on the ground, you're actually being pushed by the ground. The ground is pushing against your feet. That's why you're not falling into the earth. All right. So let's go back to the elevator. Are you so far you're keeping up? Everything is okay? You have any questions? Are you listening? Are you there?
Yeah,
Is it
yeah.
okay? Is it simple or is it complicated thus far? How is it?
It's simple.
Good. Excellent. Hopefully it's going to stay simple, but we can hope. All right. So the next step, so you go back into, right, you're all alone in the universe in your spaceship with your laser pointer. So you point across the spaceship from one side to the other, and you see a point. The laser pointer makes a point. All right. Now, so, and it doesn't mean anything if you're moving or not moving. That doesn't mean anything because there's no, you have no reference to say that you're moving relative to anything else. All right. And now you turn on the engines of your spaceship, and your spaceship starts accelerating. And and now you're standing on the floor of the spaceship, and you're still pointing the laser as as the spaceship accelerates. And now the question is, what do you expect should happen to that dot on the other side? So if we compare,
Um,
yeah, what do you want to say?
I don't know. No,
Okay, we can think about
I
it.
don't know. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know either. Let's think about it. So when we compare, let's say there is, so just before we started accelerating, okay, so the light traveled across, but now that you're accelerating, you can imagine, right? So light doesn't travel instantaneously. Light actually travels
Mm.
kind of slow. Light, I mean, kind of fast, but there is a speed limit. Light travels at 300,000 meters per second. So it looks instantaneously. Usually, when you open the shade in your house and you let the light in, it looks like it enters instantaneously. But really, it doesn't. If you had a slow motion camera and you could capture it, you would see that the light actually fills the room pretty slowly. It's very fast to our eyes, but there is a speed limit. So, for example, when they fire a laser to the moon, there's actually a mirror that the astronauts left on the moon. So every day NASA fires a laser. Anyone can fire a laser to the mirrors on the moon and get a signal back. And you can measure how much time it took your laser beam to get to the moon and back. And it takes about 2 seconds. It takes 1 second to get there and 1 second to come back. And also, when you talk on the phone over long distances, you get a delay relative to if you're talking to someone who's not far away. So you can feel the delay. I don't know actually if you can actually feel the delay with analog. Let's ignore that. So, but you can use a laser pointer, a very powerful laser pointer, to point at the moon and measure the distance. Or if you know the distance, you can measure the speed of light. Anyway, light has a speed, it's some finite speed. So when you fire your laser at the wall, so instead of a laser, let's think about water. Let's say you have a water pointer or a water hose. So before you felt acceleration, the water went right across the elevator in a straight path. But now that you're beginning to accelerate, what do you think is going to happen? This is a good analogy. So let's put you back in your spaceship. You're all alone in the universe, and you're holding a water hose, and the water is coming out very forcefully in like almost a perfect straight line, and you're not accelerating yet. And you notice that the water crosses the spaceship and hits the opposite side at a certain point. And now you turn on the spaceship engines and you're starting to accelerate. What do you expect is going to happen to the point, to the water stream that comes out of your hose? What do you expect it to do as your spaceship begins to accelerate?
Um, it's gonna come out slowly.
Well, the water comes out. Let's say the water comes out really fast. It's a high pressure water hose, so the water comes out is like really fast. So before the spaceship was accelerating, it just came out and crossed the spaceship and hit the wall on the opposite side of the spaceship. But now that you're accelerating, now that your starship, your spaceship is accelerating, what do you expect is going to happen to the water stream?
Um, Probably it might it might slow down after time, or
Um,
might get faster.
no, let's assume the speed of the water coming out is a constant. Let's say the water comes out at 300 meters per second at the speed of sound. The water comes out like a super fast jet. It's really fast.
Yeah.
So it crosses the spaceship in an instant, in under a tenth of a second. You can barely see the water stream. It's so fast. It's super, super fast. And the speed of the water is not going to change. It's a constant. Let's assume the speed of the water is a constant. But what do you expect the stream? The stream before the spaceship was accelerating, so the stream was a straight line, right?
Yeah.
So as you accelerate, as your spaceship starts to accelerate, what do you expect the water stream to do?
It's gonna bend.
Exactly. Perfect. And that's exactly the beginning of the curvature of the geometry of general relativity. So we are already beginning to see, to feel a little bit of general relativity. Before we spoke about relativity, that was the notion of special relativity. Now, the curvature, that's already the first hint that we're talking about general relativity. All right, so the stream bends. Now, the difference between a water jet at 300 meters per second and light is just a stream that is at 300,000 meters per second. It's just 1,000 times faster than sound. That's the difference. But everything else is the same. There's no reason to think of light, of a laser pointer, any different than a stream of water. There's no, I cannot conceive of a difference. I don't see, I don't, so my intuition is why should there be a difference? I don't see the difference. So let's assume, let's assume that a light beam will behave the same as a water beam, as a water stream, or a light stream behaves the same as a water stream. Let's assume that for now. We can always come back and fix our assumptions, but for now, it sounds correct. We don't notice that a laser pointer is a stream because it's so fast. But remember, to the moon and back is 2 seconds. It's not It's not infinitely fast. It's just it's 1,000 times faster than sound. It's not that. It's not that fast. Anyway, but okay. So what do you expect the laser dot on the wall, right? So you have a water stream and it bends when you turn on the engines of the spaceship. What do you expect the the light beam to do?
Um, Stay still.
But why would it? I mean, it looks like it stays still, but that's because it's so fast. Remember, I mean, even with a water jet, at 300 meters per second, that it's the water jet comes out. In the beginning, you can barely tell that it bends. It's only at a at an like a strong acceleration, and you actually need a big ship. You can't, in a small ship, you wouldn't see the bend. You need a very big ship. You need to let the water out. Let's even say, let's say that you let the water out from out of the ship. So let's say you have a hose and the hose points from the ship outwards. So you look at the water stream coming out, it goes on and on and on and on. It travels from the ship, away from the ship at 300 meters per second. So in the beginning, you see a straight line before you turn on the engines. And then when you turn on the engines, what do you expect to see? What do you expect to see the stream do? The water stream.
Uh, and
Exactly. Now, let's say you have a laser pointer also pointing away, and let's say it's foggy. The universe is foggy, so you can see the line that the laser beam makes. And now you begin to accelerate the ship. Let's say the water comes out at just under 300, just under the speed of light. You can let the water out just under the speed of light. No one says you can't. Actually, particle accelerators, that's what they do. They just don't do it with water, but they do it with hydrogen. I mean, they do it with heavy particles. They could theoretically accelerate water to almost the speed of light. So it's possible to have a jet of water coming out at almost the speed of light. And then you start accelerating. So, do you expect a jet of water at almost the speed of light to behave differently than a jet of light coming out at the speed of light? Do you expect there to be a difference between the two?
yeah, one will bend faster than the other one.
Why would one bend faster? They're coming out basically at the same speed. Basically at the same speed. Let's
So,
say the water comes out at 1% less than the speed of light. It's 99% of the speed of light. The water comes. You have a jet of water. It's a very thin jet because if it's a strong jet, it's gonna accelerate the ship. So let's fire a very thin jet of water at almost the speed of light, and right next to it, where we have a laser pointer. Why would you expect these? Why would you?
probably almost,
Excuse me.
I don't know, it's probably like something to do with the way that it's been designed, reality.
Well, we don't know. We don't know. We're trying
Yeah.
to discover how reality is designed. So we don't know. We don't want to be prejudiced. We don't want to decide. So if the question is, do we have a reason to suspect that a water jet will behave differently than a light jet, a stream of light? Why should a stream of light behave differently than a stream of water, especially if they travel at basically the same speed? Why should they behave differently?
I don't think they would.
Mm-hmm. But you have to, so in a thought experiment, you have to think, you have to come up with a reason. If you think two things are going to behave differently, you have to come up with a reason why you feel they'll behave differently.
Um,
I'm not saying that you're right
I
or
don't
wrong.
know.
Right, we don't know. We don't know. So let's assume, because we don't know, let's assume for now, as I said, we can always come back and fix our assumptions. Let me just,
Yeah,
I see you sent me a friend request. Let me accept it. So,
I have to go now, but
all right, man.
we can talk about this later on.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening. Wow, that was great. That's great. I love teaching because when I teach, I have to simplify and simplify and simplify and simplify my models and my thought experiments. And through that, I come to very deep realizations. This is unbelievable. This was so insightful. This was so insightful. Oh my God. Absolutely incredible. Wow, that was a joy. An absolute joy. Teaching special and general relativity. I wouldn't say teaching, I would say investigating relativity from first principles. Absolute joy. Delicious. All right, let's continue. Let us continue watching Veritasium with his awesome video. Okay, let's roll back a little bit and play.
Soon became more complicated. Shortly after Schwarzschild's solution was published, people noticed two problem spots. At the center of the mass at R
What do you mean at the center of the mass? You already defined it that it's a point mass. You said that Schwarzschild assumed in his model a point mass. Didn't we? Can we see it in the thingy here? Is there a point mass in the Schwarzschild, or is this the first time you're mentioning it? This is GR. Didn't he mention already? Not here. Is this the first? Because I've watched it so many times that I don't know when everything was mentioned. So maybe this is the first time that he's mentioning it. So let me start over. Right? So he already explained. Yeah, he already explained. There it is. He already showed, I think, the point mass when he started explaining Schwarzschild. There is the M. There is the point mass.
an eternal static universe with nothing in it except a single spherically symmetric point mass.
Okay, spherically symmetric point mass. That makes no sense. There's no spherically symmetric point mass. If it's a sphere, then it's not a point. So, this is. I have no words for this guy, for Veritasium. No words. And whoever reviewed this video, how can you let this through? Just atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. So he already here he contradicted himself. And I'm not being picky. This is critical, absolutely critical to this. I wouldn't say the entire video, but this is critical because this is supposed to be critical thinking. You can't just say contradictory things as you're trying to be scientific. This is unscientific. It's like I don't know what are you assuming? Assuming a sphere or a point? What did Schwarzschild assume? A sphere or a point? Or did Schwarzschild already make this mistake? Let's get back to here.
Schwarzschild's solution was published, people noticed two problem spots. At the center of the mass at r equals 0,
At the center of the mass, there is no center to the mass. It's a point mass. A point mass doesn't have a center. It's all of it is r equals 0. There is no sphere. What do you mean r equals 0? So r equals 0 is in the coordinate system. You don't mean at the center of the mass. You mean at the center of the coordinate system at r equals 0. Maybe that's what you mean?
this term is divided by 0.
Okay, so, yeah.
So it blows up to infinity.
Yeah, that happens in Newtonian gravity as well. Newtonian gravity is g m1 times m2 over r squared. At r equals 0, it blows up to infinity just as much. So, no news. That's nothing new. So, assuming a point mass is an approximation. If you want to talk about what happens at r equals 0, or as we approach r to be 0, then you have to go into your second approximation and you have to start thinking, okay, it's not the sun and the earth are not point masses. Actually, they are spheres, they are balls, they are whatever. They're complex objects. If you want to talk about what happens at r equals 0, then remember it's a complex object that's composed of particles. So you need to ask, okay, what happens? What particle am I talking about at r equals 0? This equation is not for r being a small number. I mean, it's not right. This equation is undefined for r equals 0, and it's probably wrong when r approaches 0 because it's just a first order approximation. It assumes that this equation was developed on the assumption of a point mass. So what's what so what if so of course you're gonna get infinity. You okay? Somebody's visiting us. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, Mr. Dark Crow 88. How can I be of assistance to you this fine day?
Oh, sure. Yeah, if you got $1 million, I mean, I'd sure appreciate that.
All right. What would you do with $1 million? Why would I give you $1 million? Why would anyone? Let's say I had a trillion. Why would I give you a million?
Well, you said you could assist me with something, so that's a way you can assist me with.
Yeah.
Assist me with it.
Why only a million? Why not ask for a quadrillion? Isn't that
I don't know what I could do. I don't need it. I couldn't even imagine what I could do with $250,000,000. So I don't need that.
I see. Okay. Anyway, I'm actually in the middle of recording a response video to Mr. Veritasium. Do you know Veritasium?
I'm not familiar. Nope.
He's like a science communicator. Do you know what a science communicator is?
Sounds vague there.
Um,
Meaning that he doesn't have a degree in anything in science related.
Right. Good point. He has a PhD in science education.
Science education. Okay, so he's a PhD. What?
Yeah.
Bullshit. I don't believe it.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of like principals in high schools, I think they get their PhDs in in education and in education.
Yeah, so you can teach, I guess, science. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't know about a PhD. That means you can teach in a university.
No. Oh, in university, you don't have to be a PhD to teach in a
You-
university. You can teach without a PhD. You can teach probably without a degree if what you have to say is important enough for if the university feels that they could give you an honorary PhD if they feel like it, if they're in the mood. Anyway, so he made a video about Einstein's general relativity, and I'm in the process of remarking on it and tearing it apart, tearing it to shreds. And
from like a religious aspect or from a scientific
no,
aspect.
purely scientific. I'm an atheist. I haven't.
Oh.
I'm godless. So anyway, general relativity doesn't really say anything about religion. General relativity is fine with religion. So, do you know anything about general relativity?
Supposedly,
Wait, I can't
let me
hear
think
you in
there
your
before.
audio.
Before I say it, let me think of there before I sound stupid. General relativity for there.
Just being able to pronounce general,
Is that Einstein? Is that Einstein? Other basically, it's fucking
very
bitch.
good, very good. You see,
Find it.
you're very smart.
Oh, I wasn't sure that or Hawkins, Stephen Hawkins.
Yeah, I don't know anything about him, but
He's
Einstein.
actually pretty fun.
Wait, what?
He's actually pretty fun. I guess he wrote many books. So there, I was gonna buy one, but just I forgot, so I did not.
I would recommend not buying books in general. I'm against books.
Uh, oh, so was a lot of people did. That's why they burnt them.
No, no, I'm against burning books, but I'm against reading books. I think it's enough to watch YouTube. You don't have to read books. If you just watch YouTube, I think it's good enough. I mean, I'm sure there is actual YouTube. I know there is at least one YouTube course about general relativity from Lenny
Um,
Suskind.
you can get books online as well, free from
Oh,
PDFs.
oh, that's cool.
Whether it's legal, so the different story. But yeah, but you can get books on the PDF.
Hmm.
It's sometimes it's nice to have it hardcover though.
Yeah, because then you can
Uh,
slowly read and do the exercise if you have time.
well, yeah. I mean, like I bought a book of Hitchens. You know who that is?
No.
Christopher Hitchens,
Oh, I know, Chris.
famous atheist.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I bought a book from him. I mean,
Hmm.
God is not great.
Hmm.
That's the title of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I disagree with Hitchens. I disagree with Hitchens. I disagree with all the atheists, basically.
In what aspect?
I mean, religion is it's a symptom. It's like religion is a symptom, I would say, of poverty. It's usually people who are poor that are attracted to religion.
Hmm.
Religion is
That might be right.
what?
What about satanic rich people that do child sacrifices?
No, rich people don't do anything. Rich people don't.
Drink the blood of babies. They get them excited, get them scared, so the adrenaline's pumping, and then they kill a baby and then drink the blood.
No, that doesn't make any sense. Imagine, right? You asked me for $1 million. So if I give you $1 million, would you take it to drink the blood of babies?
Would I? No,
Yeah.
I'm not a rich elite.
But
I don't do that.
if I give you $1 million, would that make you a rich elite?
No.
Hey guys, how you doing? Still doing? Hello.
Hello.
I was missing you both, guys.
Well, this is your
You don't
first
even know who
time.
I am.
Yeah, you don't know who we are, so you cannot miss us.
Of course, I know you guys. You guys, every day you guys here, every day.
Yeah, but you're
No,
not.
I'm not. Not at all.
Yes, yes. I swear to God, I see you guys every fucking day. Is it true or not?
No,
No,
and
it's not true.
we're on YouTube, so I'd rather, and I'm streaming a review of a physics video, so I'd rather not have foul language. So let's keep it children friendly.
Yeah, but you have zero. You have zero viewers. I'm just the one viewer.
But it's recorded for the rest of time.
Bro, you. Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah. I don't want it to be like restricted to adults. I want children to be able to listen.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's
Okay, okay. I'll let you guys. I'll let you guys know.
okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. So
Bye.
bye. So dark crowd. So if I gave you $1 million, would that make you a rich elite?
No, I would not.
Okay, what about a billion? I would give you $1 billion. Would that make you a rich elite?
Probably.
All
Yeah.
right. Would you then start drinking the blood of babies?
No.
So why do you think? But you said rich elites drink the blood of babies. No.
They do. I didn't say all of them,
Oh, so only
but
some.
they do.
So
Jewish cabal, for example.
Jewish cabal? What?
Yeah.
Jewish cabal? What is Jewish cabal? What is that?
It's a religious group, a satanic group
So Jewish. So it has nothing
that
to do.
practice practice of their child sacrifice. And they especially they used to sacrifice children to a bowl, to a live bowl. It had 7 ports. I don't remember exactly all the things they put into the 7 ports, and then they put a baby into the center one and burned it alive as a sacrifice.
So hold on. So before you said the rich elites, and now you're saying it's the Jews. So which is it?
Specifically, it could be both, can it? Is there not Jewish elites? For example, I mean, you have Rockefeller family, right?
But why do you? So only rich
Oh,
Jews.
not Rockefeller. The not Rockefeller. I didn't mean to say that. I'm not even sure whether he's Jewish or not. The
But fine. But it doesn't matter the name. The question is, you said in the beginning, rich elites do that, and then you said the Jews.
Mhm.
So which is it? Is it rich elite Jews who do this?
Yes.
And what's your evidence that they do this?
Uh, from things I've read,
But what's your evidence? Okay, what's the evidence?
from kids disappearing, from a factory that had human parts of remains,
Wait,
from the Epstein case.
wait. The Epstein case? The Epstein case is about child blood drinking
Mhm.
or baby blood drinking, baby blood whatever.
Uh, if you look at the symbolism of Epstein Island, there is not just colors that you see. There's specific symbolism and a ritualistic symbolism of the colors and the patterns they put on there.
But what about
Jews don't make an accident on that.
wait? But what about you said the blood of babies? So Epstein drank the blood of babies.
It is it is I'm not sure whether he did or not. I mean, but it is the point of there to prove the point of there that there was things that used to be called conspiracy theories for years and years that the elites have pedophile rings. It was conspiracy theories until the Epstein case came out, and it had such as from people going to his island or there to get quote unquote getting massages by underage girls and sexual things, did sexual things,
Okay.
and that was a conspiracy theory and that nobody believed it until the case came out and everybody was like, holy shit, until the list who came to his island came out. And these are not poor people. These are rich elites, including Bill Clinton. There, including a prince of England and many many others.
But
These are not the typical people.
wait, but is Bill Gates Jewish?
Is Bill Gates? Sorry, did I say Bill Gates? I said I meant to say Clinton.
Is
Bill Clinton.
is Clinton Jewish?
Yeah, yeah. Jewish maybe in culture.
What do you mean Jewish culture? What is Jewish culture? What is
Meaning that just like Trump, or there, he might not be Jewish by religion, but he's in Jewish by culture, meaning that he does not sway or from the Jewish ideologies, or and he practices the Jewish values and Jewish people and supports them.
who?
Bill Clinton.
So Bill Clinton supports Jewish people, and wait,
Yeah,
does he
just like Trump.
Trump?
Yeah, just like Trump.
So Trump supports Jewish people?
Absolutely.
So Trump also does the ritual with the baby blood?
I'm not sure about that. I think he's a Catholic. Excuse me. I think he's a Catholic there. He grew up as a Catholic, but yet he is. I read through his stuff a lot. It started with his grandfather to have Jewish ties there, and from business, and he named the one of the main embassies of the United States and to Israel. He has
But what
he,
about
in my point of view, he sacrificed his daughter to the Kushner family, another a powerful Jewish family, uh,
wait, hold on.
such as
Did you say he sacrificed his daughter to you said he
that's
sacrificed?
that's the word I like to. Yeah, that's the words I like to use.
So when your daughter marries someone, you call that sacrifice?
To Jews, yes.
Why are Jews special? How are Jews special? I don't understand.
Oh, they're not special. I promise you that. They think they're special. Well, they're not special.
Wait, but to you they're special apparently. You
Oh, they're I see the sinister things that they do,
like what?
and they pretend to be special.
They
Uh,
like
from owning banks, from owning media, and such as that, from changing laws
wait,
secretly.
wait 1 second. So they own media, you said? They own banks?
Yes, sir.
That is sinister to own. I mean if you buy S
You
and
can look and you.
wait, if you buy S&P stocks for $10, you own stocks in banks and media. So anyone owns stocks in banks and media.
But well, what do you actually own?
Stocks?
You just own shares.
Yeah.
You don't own the media.
Yes, you do. That is exactly what a share is. A share is a part of. You own shares in companies. Of course, that's what you own. That's exactly what it is.
You don't own the company. I mean, I understand that what you're trying to say there, but at the same time, that's the point of their. They'll buy it, they'll inflate your shares there, and then you'll sell it, or they control up and down of the shares
What do you
or
mean
the
up?
stock.
You mean 100%?
So they can deflate that your share, and you'll sell it, and they'll buy up more shares. The point of shares there is to create revenue.
To what? To create what?
Revenue.
Revenue?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if the company
For
makes,
the company.
yeah, if you buy shares in a firm that has profits, sometimes that firm gives the profits, some of the profits to the shareholders. Sometimes.
Yeah, but that's not important. That's besides the point. It's
So,
not important. The point was whether the media is controlled by Jews, and that is correct. Every news stations from Fox, they look at who's the CEO, who's the everything. Actually, I have the names of each individuals from state TV stations to all kinds of organizations um, in media, from porn industries, who created that, who invented that, why they created that. Um, from I mean, in something that there I did not expect, which is years and years. It's been maybe 3 to 4 years or since I first heard it. Is there's a huge comprised organization called Vanguard and BlackRock, the superpower of collecting. Basically, they're above all media. They control almost all media.
hmm so
And BlackRock is estimated value of 13 trillion. Like Elon Musk, he's like 110 billion, right? And he's the richest. And this company is net worth is at 13 trillion with a T.
okay. So I don't understand. What is your point? Okay, so there are.
So
Go ahead.
so we have an agreement that they're Jewish elite people, right?
The Jews tend to be super. I don't know if super wealthy, but I would say maybe above average. Maybe I get. I don't know. I mean, any.
Is Zuckerberg, there would you think they're multi-billionaire? Is that and just average wealthy?
I mean,
Zuckerberg
they
of
are.
Facebook,
Look,
of Meta. I think you just bought out Meta too.
right. Look, it could be. I might agree with you that Jews maybe just they're good at making money. So
Making money or stealing money?
what do wait, who stole money? You didn't mention anything about that. So what are you talking about?
I mean, through the legal systems. I mean, basically, you theft to their through the legal system of there.
What do you mean the legal system? What is
Uh,
legal system? What do you mean by that?
Meaning, they create the rules and laws
They
for
cre-
the legal system.
what do you mean they create rules and laws for the legal system? I don't understand. What give me an example maybe. Give
Yeah. Okay, sure, yeah. There's I would have to look up exactly the name of him, but there's a fella that spent 20 or no, he there's like 6 years or 16, 6 or 16, I don't know. It was 6 years, it was not that 16 years. But he spent 16 or 6 years to change a law in California to make homosexual pedophilia legal
okay.
in California. And he was successful.
And he's Jewish?
Yep.
So
I would have to look. Californian man or a Californian lawyer changes pedophiles, so it's not illegal to be a pedophile.
So what did he do exactly? I mean, he couldn't have single-handedly changed the law. So you're saying he spent money?
Persistence. No, no. All you have to go is just legality and argue towards it and be persistent.
No. I mean, in order to change the law, you need, if it's the state of California, then you need maybe to change the constitution of the state of California, or you need to pass a bill.
No, no.
Hmm.
Yeah, you just pass a law, yeah, a bill.
What do you mean he
Excuse me.
just passed? I mean, in order to pass, you need a majority or something like that. So you can't.
Oh, no, 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 no. Like for example, in well, I'm not sure exactly in the state individuals. And not everything is voted on. There's the senators, the mayors that change laws, and not everything is voted upon.
Wait, uh, I don't understand. The way that the United States is designed, I think even in the state level, is you have again the three branches of government at the state level.
Hmm.
So you have the
Yeah,
executive is the governor, and
the
you have
judicial.
judicial, and you have a legislature, which I think is a state senate or whatever, state congress, state senate.
Hmm.
I don't know states how they work, but so there's you need to
Yeah.
get
Oh,
in order to pass a law, you need you need to vote, and you need to have a majority. You can't see one
uh,
person.
from uh, from Congress. So there, it's not based off vote. It's through Congress, and they have basically the right to change the laws. Not maybe the constitutional. Yeah, if they go against the Constitution, then they go that goes. That's a separate thing. They go to the Supreme Court.
So you said that he changed the law.
Yeah, a state law,
How?
not
How
not the country law.
how did he change the state law? How? There is a state senate and a state congress or whatever.
Arguing it, arguing it, writing about it, and
Okay.
I mean, I can look this guy up.
No, he could. You don't need to. I mean, I'm not disagreeing. So you're telling me that he
Okay.
convinced politicians to vote on this bill. Okay. So the politicians ended up being convinced. The politicians that
Yeah.
are elected by the people. So it's the people who wanted this bill passed.
No, no, no. You don't have to have the people at all.
What do you mean?
You can go straight to the court. I mean, even in states,
What do you mean
even
the
in
court?
individual.
Wait, what do you mean the
No,
court?
no. I mean, there is a mayor. A mayor can make laws, or rules, or stipulations.
No,
There is your
no.
senator.
Wait, hold on. The same goes for the city. The city is designed in a similar way, as far as I know, or every town. You have a mayor who's just the executive, and you have the city council, which are voted in, and you have the city courts. So again, there's a separation, and again, it's democratic at
Mhm.
every level. So I don't know. So you have a
Well,
problem. Go ahead.
the governor is capable of creating institutions that, say, like a construction industries board,
Hmm.
that will codify certain types of building codes, which effectively become laws. So if you're a business and you want to build a building, you have to abide by those codes, and then they have enforcement with like inspectors, like city inspectors.
Sure, but
So they can effectively create laws, but it depends on what they're doing. Just like the executive branch can create the FBI, the NSA, all that kind of
exactly,
shit.
exactly,
Um,
exactly.
if they want funding, they're going to have to go through Congress.
Okay, not necessarily, but fine. Um,
or public. They don't have to necessarily go to Congress. I mean,
whatever.
they can
But
go to public as well too.
okay. So you telling me that there is a lawyer who happens to be Jewish who managed to convince politicians to pass a bill that legalizes pedo. Let's just say pedo because we're right now on YouTube.
Yeah.
So, okay, but this is called a democracy. We live, as they say, we live in a democracy. Our the fathers, the nations, the fathers of the nation that created the system, they took everything into consideration. They deliberated on this at length. This is what they saw fit, and from there, from the creation of the country until today, it's all been democratic, more or less, as far as I know. So the democratic process, at the end of the day, the people, if they want to legalize pedos, it's up to them. I mean, but I don't think this one single person who happens to be Jewish, I don't think you can say that he did something. I mean, he managed to convince, fine, but but at the end of the day, it's the people who voted for this. So you have to blame the people, not the person that convinced the people. It's like if I convince you to do something, you can't hold me liable because I convinced you. If I convinced you and then you do something, that's you. You became convinced. It's not my
Hmm.
fault that you became convinced.
Majority of people did not. I don't know who voted for that, but majority of people did not. Majority of people were working during that time, or the bill was passed.
What do you mean? I mean,
Uh,
a legal bill has to be voted on by the Senate, by the Congress, whatever, and the people.
no, no, no. Congress is a little bit different. The Congress, when they vote on, it is not up to. It's up to the Congress. It's not up to the people.
What do you mean? The people
So
vote for the Congress.
the officials in Congress, that's what people voted for to get in for, quote unquote, their beliefs in the change based off their beliefs.
Okay, but
But they might not do that at all,
yeah, but the people
just because
vote.
they got voted in.
Wait, wait, 1 second. The people vote for politicians. Politicians pass bills. So how can you say that this one lawyer that happens to be Jewish? How can you put the blame on him for passing a bill? He didn't pass the bill. The politicians did, and the governor can veto the bill, and he didn't apparently, or I don't know. It's a democratic process. It's up to the people. If you don't like the process, then I don't know how to help you. This is a democratic, somewhat democratic country. So I don't see why you want to put the blame, quote unquote, on this one lawyer that happens to be Jewish, which I don't even know if that lawyer knows he's Jewish. A lot of people who are Jewish don't care to be Jewish. There's a lot of Jewish atheists that their Judaism.
Yeah, but like I said,
Hmm.
the Jewish by culture, and or Jewish by
Oh
blood. It's
no.
three ways. Yeah, there's three ways to be Jewish. One is by blood, meaning that they're the ancestors of the Jewish people. One is by
But if
religion,
a person,
which is the Jewish
hold
by,
on, hold on. If a
and
person,
one is by
I understand.
culture.
Sure. Yeah, but a lot of people who are what do you call by blood, but they don't care. They have nothing to do with anything Jewish. They just want to live a normal life. They have nothing to do with anyone else who is Jewish more than
Uh
anything.
huh.
A lot of them they marry Chinese women and Indian women and black. I mean, they intermarry. They
For the
don't
sake
care.
of power.
What?
For the sake of power.
Yeah,
For the
but
sake of power.
yeah, but they don't communicate. There's no cabal. They don't this like this one. What?
There's no cabal of well, maybe I guess a recent case in New York there where they
No, no,
were
no,
digging
no,
underground.
no, no, no,
Under,
no, 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 no. Let's finish this one case. Let's finish this
sure.
one case. So, do you understand that this one lawyer that you're talking about? I'm assuming everything, all the information that you supplied me is correct. Let's assume everything you said is correct.
I didn't supply you any information yet. I
Okay.
mean, just me speaking.
Yes,
That's not
yes.
information.
Let's assume everything you said is correct. I'm not saying you did anything wrong. I'm just saying let's assume everything you said is as it is in reality. So what? So a guy who happens to be the descendant of Jews and might not care the least bit for being the descendant of Jews. Why should he care in the first place? And why should he care? I don't know. And he happens to be.
Uh,
Yeah, go ahead.
oh, I just looked up the bill in California, SB dash 145.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm assuming everything you said is correct.
Okay.
So why should I care? Why should you care that some guy who happens to be the descendant of Jews did something? Why should you care? Why should I care? Why is it of any importance to any of us?
Because it changes the laws in society
Yeah.
that people did not vote upon.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. They did.
Who voted?
What do you mean? It's a
Who voted?
democracy.
Who voted?
What do you
Everybody did not vote on that.
what do you mean everybody did
And
not?
who
I don't know what you mean.
and
It's a
the people that
democracy.
did
It's a
were
hold on. It's a representative democracy. So we vote in our representatives and they vote on
mhm.
mostly. Sometimes there's referendums and the people themselves can actually vote on actual things sometimes. Yeah. Every time I go for to vote, there's always some referendum I have to I can vote for, vote on whatever. So,
Yeah. And
but we are a representative democracy. That's the way this country is built. So it's that type of democracy. Like most democracies are like that. So well, that's it. So the people want whatever the people want. That's what you get. If you don't like it, move to another state. Whatever.
the majority of people, the thing, the majority of people did not vote upon it.
I don't care. I don't care. It's a
That's not
democracy.
democratic.
That means the people
It's
don't
not a
care.
democratic then.
What?
And that is why it's shocking that they're like people they slithered their ways through the court systems. They
What do you
argue and weasel their way in
What do you mean the
with a
court
certain
system?
ideology.
Wait, what do you mean the court? We're talking about the legislature right now. We're not talking about the court system right now. We're talking about the legislature. So why are you talking about the court system?
Well, because they have a bill passed that you got to go through the court system.
No, it doesn't. It could get stricken down maybe for being unconstitutional by the court system, but it
Sure.
goes it goes okay. Anyway, it goes through all branches because the governor can veto too. So anyway, look, you and I, we live in a democracy. Sometimes we get Biden, sometimes we get Trump, sometimes we get Clinton, sometimes we get Bush. Who knows what we're
Yeah.
going to get next? That's a democracy.
Uh,
Sometimes it's on our side, sometimes it's not. How is it?
well, I don't know about any more of a democracy. I think it's a joke these days.
Why? Why is it a joke?
The
Why is it a joke?
meaning that there's nobody in the power, meaning that there's nobody in power that's actually worth the time they're wasted it there. If you have all their of
It's a
you know the
That's your opinion. In a democracy, you have your
oh I mean
opinion. Go ahead.
the two coin system of that's what I call it.
The what?
Two coin system.
Two coin?
Two coin system.
What's a two coin system?
Yeah,
No,
you've never heard of that.
never.
People have the delusion of their they have delusion of their quote unquote democracy, quote unquote voting. You have the one coin there, which is the Democrats. The other coin there is the Republicans. Two
Okay.
coin systems.
Okay.
They do the same thing. They do the exact same thing, except one does it faster than the other.
Okay. Well, that's a democracy. If you don't
Yeah,
like it, you can.
and well, wait. Well, let me finish this. So now you know what the two coin system is. All right. So the two coin system, it is you have a face, so that you have a face, right? That you vote for Republican
I
or Democrats, whatever the
I understand that.
prime minister, and
I
well, you don't understand that the coin holder, and therefore the person that actually makes the decisions, they are the person in power,
What's your point?
such as a deep state.
Look, okay, whatever. That's this country, whether we like it or not. That's it. That's a given. I don't see the point of you talking about some lawyer who happened
So,
to be the descendant of Jews promoted some bill that you happen to not like. That's a democracy.
so that you know when
Hmm?
it's not though. I mean, nobody voted for it,
Okay.
and whoever voted for it,
What do you mean? Okay.
I don't know who these
What do you
people
mean?
are.
No, look,
It's not majority of people.
if nobody voted for it, then it didn't pass.
Yeah.
Then I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, if nobody voted, I mean, the people that had the powers, they're, again, are there? So, I mean, I can look up who was in charge of the SB dash one
What do you mean
four
in
five over there
charge? What do you
in
mean
California.
what do you mean in charge? If the bill passed, then people.
Mayors, the educational force there or whatever, the and senator of who agreed with to this law.
Then you agree
That's I mean,
somebody.
you can look
Then
up.
you agree somebody voted on it. Why do you say nobody voted when you agree somebody voted?
Yeah, but it's not majority of the people. That's what I'm saying.
I don't care. That's in a democracy.
It's
No, nobody said that in a democracy a majority have to vote. Nobody said that. That's how this country runs. Sometimes the majority votes. Sometimes the majority doesn't vote. Who? Why should I care? That's the way.
then
It's a given. What?
what is the point of their of democracy if people go against your values of the people's values? Because I'm sure that most people, if they knew this law, they'll be against it.
Okay, but this has nothing to do with that one lawyer. You can complain all you want
Mhm.
about the system that it's not democratic enough or whatever, but that has nothing to do with your initial proposition. As if that one lawyer that happens to be the descendant of Jews promoted some bill. Why? Who cares? Why should I care? I don't understand. Why do you
Because,
care? Why should I
because
care?
what what is in the bill? That's why people should
Whatever the
care.
democratic process wants to be in the bill is in the bill. Why should I care? If you don't like the bill, go to California, go door to door, knock on doors, talk to people, change the law. It's a democracy. Anyone can do it. Make a YouTube channel, start recording videos, promote these videos, do whatever you want, convince the people to change the law however you want. I never heard of anyone complaining about this bill, so you're the first one to complain about it. But if you don't like it,
Yeah,
that
a 14-year-old is legally by law can have sex. So they're
okay,
yeah,
okay.
but 10 years apart.
Look. This is okay, but that's what the people want. What do you want from me? Why, but
I don't think it's people like we agreed with it. It's not the
you don't
people that
think.
voted upon it.
Well, I'm sorry, you don't think, but that is the definition of that is the process. If you don't like the process, change the process. Make amendments. Do you know?
Oh,
What do you mean no?
well,
Then what?
I know. I said it well. Oh, and I said oh, not no.
Yeah, it's a free country. It's a democracy. But again, this has nothing to do with your proposition that there is this lawyer who happens to be the descendants of Jewish people. Why should he
Hmm.
care? Why should I care? Why should you care who his ancestors are? How is that relevant? Explain to me how it's relevant to this discussion.
Well, because 109 different nations, so there 109 does not lie. Again, 109 nations have expelled Jews from the society. There's a reason why there's that.
So this has nothing to do with the bill. So you agree.
No,
No, one second, one step at a time. So you
it,
agree. Look, you cannot change your claims and your evidence. So let's finish off this one piece of evidence. So you brought to my attention this incident with this one lawyer as evidence that
mhm.
I don't know what, but you agree that this evidence doesn't promote this. It has nothing to do with our discussion about some Jewish cabal. If you feel,
Cabal, not kebab.
I didn't say kebab. I said cabal.
Oh, it sounded like you said kebab, but anyways, yeah,
No,
cabal.
it's cabal. Cabal is like cable. It's
Yeah,
basically the same word. So
sorry, I might have heard you wrong on my
it's
side.
it's okay. No, but the point I'm making is that I don't see why. Look, from this piece of evidence, that this one guy who happens to be the descendant of people who might themselves didn't even care for being descendants of Jews, and who knows, he happens to be, born in California. He's probably a liberal, like all of California.
Yeah.
So that's what they want. They want freedom for whatever nonsense they want, and anyone who likes that will move to California, and you'll have a congregation of all these liberals in California, and they make Silicon Valley. They're very wealthy, and that's the way it is. If you don't like it, don't move to California. So
Oh, I mean, come on, though. You can't just say that just because Jewish lawyers make certain laws that the majority of people did not vote on, and it just
that's not
accept it to
true.
their. I mean,
Look, the
no,
fact that look, it's a claim that you're making that the majority of the people did not vote on it. That's a claim that you're making. I don't know if it's true, but even if it's true, it doesn't matter. It's if you claim it passed, then it went through the democratic process of the state. And if it's no good, it will get crushed by, you can always appeal to the Supreme Court that this bill should be illegal.
no. Well, there's the Justice Court, and then you go to the Supreme Court.
Fine. Then maybe you should bring this case, in front of the Ninth Circuit Court to get the bill stricken. Maybe you should work
It,
on
it,
that.
it is. You might be right about that, but it is way
But
easier
this
to
is
create a bill
but this is not.
versus eradicating a bill.
Then make a bill. Look, that's the process. It has
So,
nothing to
so
do.
what if I create a bill, right? What if I create a bill there, and I go to the Congress of California and pass it, and they deny it.
What do you mean deny it?
So then what do I do then?
What do you mean deny
Yeah.
it? Who denies it? I don't understand.
Either the governor or the mayors or officials into within the government
What do you mean? I
that
don't
be at
understand.
power.
Look, the governor can veto a bill, and then the Senate can vote on overriding the veto.
No, 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 no. This. I don't know about the Senate. There, when you talk about the Senate, I think of the Senate of Washington D.C. I'm not sure about the Senate. I guess they must have a senator there, each state individuals. But
I don't know. I
yeah,
don't. It's not. Look, it's
the,
nothing.
the person that
Look,
has the
look.
power is the
Hold on.
governor of a
Look,
state.
listen. But this is not. This discussion right now has nothing to do with your proclamation that there is a cabal of ultra elites and Jews and Clinton. You have no evidence for that. All you have evidence is that there's.
That is true. Okay, that is true. It's that is true. It's hypothesis or I guess even with that you need evidence, right? Based of so it's a different word. Uh, I guess it's my speculation. Other, how
That's
about that?
fine. It's fine, but you need to investigate and research and seek evidence one way or the other, and let the evidence teach you about reality. You cannot just conclude
There,
based on.
there is pattern. There's other patterns that you can look at it that correlate that from leads to there from again Epstein's Island. Are there,
Wait,
who was
hold
on
on
the list.
1 second. Look, I just want to make sure we killed this horse. This evidence about
Okay.
the bill, about this lawyer, you are retracting it as evidence for the Jewish cabal, I'm assuming. At least,
Uh,
let's say, at least, let's
that's,
say,
that's a,
let's say, at least,
no, because in a sense,
let's say,
pedophilia. There,
at least temporarily until you find evidence that this bill.
it is a correlation. there's dots that I correlate the reason I state that makes sense. So the Jewish lawyer again, Epstein again, another Jew, from the pedophile rings. They're
One
not only
second.
United
No,
States,
no,
they're
one
France, and
second.
they're
No,
Philippines.
no, no, no. Before you introduce more evidence, I need to make sure that this piece of evidence that we just dealt with, you are retracting it as far as your proposition. You had your obligation to this discussion.
Okay, I'm gonna word it in this way. You let me know whether you agree. So my evidence there of section SB dash 145 there, the Jewish lawyer that's made that law. I think that's it is. Let me double check before.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah, what about it?
My point of there is yes, that is no evidence that there's a the cabal there is doing a child sacrificing. Absolutely not. No, I that is no evidence towards it. I agree on that.
Okay,
How about that?
that's good,
Is
but
that fair enough?
yeah, almost. What about evidence for a Jewish cabal? Is that evidence for a Jewish cabal?
Maybe.
No, there's no maybe. Is it evidence or not?
Uh, again, it's maybe. I can't say no.
You can't say no about anything.
Because
If I told you if I told you if I told you
yours comes from now there and because there's a pedophile rings and child sacrifice there and there's people tied into this let's just say even this Jewish lawyer.
okay, so for now you have no evidence for that. So for now you have no
Yeah,
evidence for a Jewish
it's
cabal.
connecting the dots basically.
But
They
for now the
mhm.
SB bill is not evidence for a Jewish cabal. Do you agree?
It's I can't say no.
Why not?
I
What,
can't say no
how is it how is
because that's
SB evidence of a Jewish cabal? Right?
because to have sex with a 14-year-old there to me I
That's
can't
not
think of it as
that's not that's
as a
you can
good
that has nothing to do with the
as
Jewish
a
that nothing to do with the Jewish cabal.
yeah it's just a hint of it there and they just
No,
open in public
no,
with it.
no, no. It's zero evidence of a Jewish cabal. Nothing to do with the Jewish cabal.
So there's Jews involved, there's
But that's
underage
not a Jewish
laws.
cabal. That's not a Jewish cabal. There's one Jew,
who
but that's not evidence for a Jewish cabal.
who votes for this stuff? I mean, who thinks of this stuff? Who writes laws for this stuff?
Nothing to
Obviously, if
do. That has
people write
nothing to
laws.
do. That question has nothing to do with your intention to prove that there is a Jewish cabal. So I see no
Hmm.
evidence from that, from SB Bill. I see no evidence for a Jewish cabal.
Okay,
So SB Bill, we can strike it off the protocol from this discussion. Agreed?
agreed.
Right. It doesn't help the discussion. It doesn't promote.
I don't need the that specific the specific bill. I don't need that. I can we can go to other points as well too.
Okay. So I have time for one more. So what other evidence would you like to submit into this discussion?
Give me 1 second. Um,
But I'm a little rushed. So
oh, sorry. Well, I guess it's gonna take me a little bit some time to find this video
no, you don't need
about
to
this
show me.
little girl.
No, you don't need to show me the video. You need to just tell me what is your evidence.
Okay, well, it's basically there's a British girl that discusses of child sacrifice there, and for her age, she's almost very intelligent for her age, and she describes that she was kidnapped, and there was some child sacrificing and the cabal. But you can watch it on YouTube.
So she says
and
she implicates a Jew. She implicates people who are of Jewish descent or something.
No, she does not implicate. I don't know if she even knows what a Jewish means. So there,
How
she
is this?
implicated that there's a there's that there's a people that did child sacrifice and killed little babies,
How is this relevant?
and
How
it's actually
how is this
it's
relevant?
actually
Okay, but how is this relevant to
it's
your
actually
no, no, listen. But how is this relevant to your proposition? You're proposing that there is a Jewish cabal or Jewish sacrifices of babies. You need evidence
you
for
know.
that. What is your evidence that there's any
Well,
of that?
how do you know the that's the thing that I don't know, what she experienced, whether those people are Jewish or not.
So
I'm not
not
sure.
knowing,
It's
not
just
that's then you don't have evidence. That's not evidence. Not knowing is not evidence. You need to know. You need.
well, it
Mhm.
is evidence that they're from a child experiencing they're in a horrific thing and
But
they're
this has
of
nothing to
of
do. You said she doesn't even know what a Jewish people person is.
uh,
So this is not
I don't
evidence.
think so. Yeah, yeah.
So this is not evidence for your proposition. So,
Well, she discusses about of from child sacrifice that they're
but this is
in a
not. But
cult.
that's I understand. But this is not evidence for your proposition. So you
Uh,
now
in a sense, it is.
why?
There's cult, meaning that if you accept it, accept that there's cults that do child sacrifice. Therefore, then there is much easier to accept that they might be Jewish.
No, you have no evidence that there is Jewish anything. You have no evidence that there's anything to do with Jews. This story.
Oh yeah, the correlation connecting the dots. So there, I mean, fucking Epstein Island, or they're a Jewish, or I can't say that. Epstein Island, or they're from multiple cases. So they're for the Epstein Island.
Okay,
You know,
the girl. One
from
second. Wait,
different cases. So
wait.
they're all
Hold
correlate
on.
to be Jewish to
Wait.
have
Hold on.
pedophilic things.
Wait. 1 second. So again, you are asking to retract the submission of the evidence of the girl with the whatever, with the child
Hmm.
sacrifice, right? You want to strike it off the protocol, right?
Uh, no. You haven't seen the evidence. So that how can it be stricken from
But even if we accept the evidence, how does it help your proposition?
being proving that the point, as long as you're accepting it there, that they're proving the point that there's a pedophile rings there that do or
I'm not denying.
do also child sacrifices.
I'm
So
not
there, once you
denying.
accept that,
That has
we have
nothing to
one more
do.
step to go.
No, that
We have
has
one more step to go, and
no,
they're just calling
no,
them Jews.
no. It doesn't support your proposition. Your proposition is that there's
Sure, no.
not general child rings or whatever, that there is a special Jewish child stuff. Your proposition is
Well,
specific. You did not present evidence to support your proposition, right?
yeah, child sacrifice and drinking their blood. Yes, that's my proposition. That
No, that's not your proposition. Your proposition is that people of descent of Jewish people have an inclination to do this thing. You did not supply any evidence to support this proposition.
all right. Well, here's what about this evidence? So
One
there were
second, but you
were
have to
Jewish.
wait. You have to agree to strike it off the protocol. You have to retract your submission of that evidence. Do you agree?
No.
No,
I am providing evidence, so there you're just ignoring it.
no.
How
What do you
I'm
mean?
not gonna.
What do
I'm
you
not
mean? I'm ignoring what? What am I ignoring? What do you mean?
meaning. I provide evidence. You said I don't want to see it. I don't want to look at it. I don't
No.
want to hear
I
it.
said even if I accepted your evidence, it doesn't support your proposition.
It
Look,
does. It
no, it
does because
doesn't.
it's to the point. It
No,
is to the point.
no, no.
Yes,
You need
there
to show. No.
the
It is
people are Jewish, or people are Jewish.
wait.
Yeah,
You didn't say
they
that.
may or may
She
not.
didn't say that. She
people
didn't
are
say.
Jewish that
She
may
didn't
or
say.
may not
She.
practice into
Ma-
child
You
sacrifice
could
and stuff
say
like that.
that about anyone. Anyone may or may not. You may or may not. I may or may not. Jesus may or may not. Anyone may or may not. What? That doesn't mean anything. It's either
The thing is, though, my point of there. So here's another piece of evidence.
no,
It is
no,
connecting
no,
the dots. It
no,
is connecting the
no,
dots.
no. You need to tell me what to do with the evidence that you asked to submit into the conversation. You have to agree that you want to retract the submission of the evidence. You have to agree to retract. Otherwise, you have to explain how this evidence is relevant.
Well, the relevancy of it is that this British girl discusses about a cult, so that they practice child
That
sacrifices.
has nothing to do
So
with
if
your.
you
That's
have
not your proposition. Your proposition is more
of
specific than
no,
that. It could
of
be.
Wait,
Moloch
why are Jews
worshiping,
sacrificing children?
Moloch worshiping, it is
Okay.
specific of there of Moloch in there as
All
a
right. Look,
sacrifice
that you're
of
changing.
children.
That's a different prop. That's different evidence. That
I
girl.
said it. I said it earlier. Do you not recall there? I said it earlier. There of
No,
Moloch
that's
worshiping is the
fine.
seven
That's
ports. The
we.
seven ports where I said
That's
of there
fine.
it was herbs, spices are
That's
there, and a baby
fine.
was put into an
Hold on.
oven of both to burn.
Wait. That's fine. We can deal with it. Right now, I have to run. But you have to agree that the story of the girl with what happened to her has nothing to do with your
The British
proposition.
one. It is the correlation of that girl, meaning that there's that she described she witnessed there of a satanic cult that does a child sacrifice.
But you said
What-
that has nothing to do with your That's not your proposition. Your proposition is
Whether they're Jewish or not, well, I have no idea.
then you don't have evidence for your proposition. Look, I'm waiting for the evidence for your proposition. I still didn't get it. I'm not saying you're right or wrong. I'm just saying you have no evidence. You didn't submit evidence thus far. You have to agree that you have
It
not.
is correlation. I offered you evidence on it. You
I don't know.
refused.
I don't see the story of the girl. You agree
From
it has nothing.
sources, from sources. All I got is no, 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 and no, and that's all I got from you. I offered sources to you, but you refused.
Because you're not giving me evidence to support the proposition. That's the problem. I'm just being.
It's the correlations of
I don't know what
things
that.
connected together,
I don't know. I don't know what that means. I need
meaning
evidence.
that
No.
it's not
No, no,
accidental. It's not
no,
accidental from this
no,
little girl from the other things that you said that we can't talk
no.
about.
Wait,
From
wait 1 second.
section SB 1-145 there. Um, it's from Epstein design. And it is the dots so that specify that there. If that is possible, if a child, if child, what is it,
I gotta
a
go.
station or
Listen, I gotta go. I gotta go. Let me send you a
all
friend.
right,
Let me send you a friend request so we can continue this at a later date. We
yeah,
gotta
sure
we
thing.
gotta we gotta figure this out.
Yeah. Well, I'll come back with a little bit. I did not expect to get into this topic there
It's
today,
fine.
but
It's fine.
I'll do a little bit more research there before, and I can prove my point.
Okay, that'd be good. All right, man. I'll see you later.
Hey, I appreciate you, man, to be cordial. Actually, can I ask, what is your ethnicity?
No, I don't share any personal information, so I
Hmm.
cannot share.
Okay. What about country wise? There, you
I,
said you're an American.
I'm an American. Right now, I'm out of the country, unfortunately. I love America.
Okay.
I love the Constitution.
Thailand.
No, I'll tell you what I wish. I wish America conquered the world. I think that would be the best thing for the world.
Oh, that'd be the worst thing in the world.
No. If you love America, then you
Uh,
want America to conquer the world. That's what I want.
I think what the founding fathers agreed to was probably good. What did the United States is to this day is horrific.
No. It's the best country by far. America is the best. You haven't been to anywhere else.
It is the best country. It's what the founding fathers created it for.
No.
That's the reason
It's
why. If you get rid of the Constitution, look at America is not going to be the best.
I love the Constitution is brilliant. I love it. I absolutely love it. Anyway, I gotta go. I'll catch you later, man.
All right, brother.
All right.
Have a good night, man,
You too. Bye bye.
or have a good day. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks. See you. Bye. All right. That was a very interesting bunch of conversations. I hope everyone enjoyed it. So we ended up discussing a little bit of everything, just a little bit of everything, and a lot of conspiracy theories. But it's important. So people don't know how to think. People fall into these traps of these conspiracy theories. They just don't know how to think, and it's so easy to fall into these traps, into believing all these nonsense. And this is very dangerous. This is much more important than relativity. But when we study relativity, I think it's a good way to understand very fundamental science, the very foundations of the scientific method and analytical thinking. But yeah, 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 we're in trouble. I can guarantee you, we are in trouble. This I don't know where this ends. I don't know. Anyway, I'll catch you later. Bye bye.